Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Just Reddit. BuzzFeed. Same thing, right? Jeff and Jeremy, KZOZ.com.
Clocked it.
Yeah. I saw this and I thought, I want to know what yours answer is, and then I'll tell you mine. And this is a food that was the biggest disappointment once you finally tried it. And I remember hearing about this food. I'm like, oh my God, these are things I love. It's got to be great. And then I tried it and I hated it. I've never ordered it again. It's very popular though. And so, do you have something like that you actually were very disappointed once you tried something for the first time?
Like I was looking forward to it. Yes. Just recently, they had pickle flavored tater tots at Sonic. And I was like, I got to get those before summer's over. And I kept putting it off. Yeah. And then it was like some kind of salt.
Potatoes and pickles. I understand the potato, like the dill pickled potato chips or whatever they were. That was okay.
That's what drove me into the arms of Sonic. But
tater tots are different. I don't know, man. Like I like them in ketchup or just salt.
My kids got regular tater tots, and after I popped one of those pickle tots in my mouth, I was like looking at theirs. I was like, man, I hope they don't finish theirs because I'd like to.
This happened to me at Costco. It was a sample, and it wasn't tater tots, but it was a spicy dill pickled poof. So think of a cheesy poof, like a Cheetos cheesy poof, but it's spicy dill.
It doesn't hit.
And I they gave the little cup, so I think there was 3 balls in there, and I tried the first one, and I'm like, okay. I tried the second one, and I popped the third one in, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is not hitting it for me. But for me, the thing is, and it's so popular, but I just can't. I just like regular fries, garlic fries. I'm not a fan. I still don't understand it. It's
a little much. It's like they put too much garlic on the fries, and I feel like it's a waste of garlic because a little bit of garlic goes a long ways. And then when you get to the bottom of it,
that could be.
You get to the bottom of it, and you're just got nothing but chunks of cloves. You're like, God, man, that's a little much. I agree with you. I think garlic fries are overrated, and places that put them on the menu, like you don't really need to. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
You ever try kombucha? Boy, I wanted to like that. It's got a cool name. Sucked.
No, never tried it.
Sucks. I do not like it at all.
What is it?
Kombucha. It's a fermented tea. They have them everywhere around here.
I know, but still, it doesn't mean
you get them in cans now. I remember 7 years ago, it was kind of a new thing.
They have a lot of around here.
Yeah,
and I immediately discount it to some kind of fad, because usually if there's 4 places selling it, then it's like, okay, that's a fad that will go away. See rolled ice cream and see acai bowl places.
2 things I've never had. 2 things I've ever had. Something I did have that I really wanted to try, and I wanted to like it, and because Sam from Cheers always drank him, and that's the Perrier, the sparkling water. Can't do the sparkling water. That's terrible. I don't know how anybody does that. Now, I don't mind like sparkling water with a little gin or vodka and a lime in it. That's okay. Like soda water, that's okay. But no.
Yeah, it is terrible. You're right. I was like, I don't even know what I was thinking. I totally, this had to be like 13, 14 years ago. I totally saw everybody drinking LaCroix. And I was like, maybe I'll try some of this LaCroix. And I bought a 12-pack in it. And that 12-pack of LaCroix sat in our house until we threw it out for years. And I'm just like, nobody's ever going to drink this. What is it doing occupying space?
Shane from Morro Bay writes in, he says oysters. And you live in Morro Bay. You need to move, sir.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oysters are amazing.
No, I don't get it.
What sucks about oysters is, depending on the time of year, this is a really good time of year to get oysters. But you get into like February, January, February, mainly February, March, they get really small. Like they go like from like good size, big old oysters to like the size of quarters. And it's like, are you kidding me? And I'm paying the same price for this? Nope. Stacy, the McRib.
Like
she said she never had high expectations in the first place, but I remember trying it. It was not good.
You're not going to Memphis barbecue joint when you get it. You're going to McDonald's, okay? Like just
well, if this was a real like rib off the bone meat sandwich, that would be great. I actually took a bunch of pork ribs. They were baby backs. And we had to buy the Costco. So, by the time we ate 1.5 of a rack between the three of us, we still had a rack and a half left. So I threw them all in the crock pot with a little bit of beef broth and let them go all day. And then I pulled the bones out. And then it was practically like having pulled pork. It was great. So I put some barbecue sauce in there, diced up some onions, and we had pulled pork sandwiches that night. Stacy writes champagne. She says, as a kid, I expected it to taste more like cherry 7-Up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But I love champagne. It goes down too smooth. And man,
I was not a fan until, I don't know, I started drinking wine here and getting into the wine scene a little bit. And now it's like I prefer a sparkling wine over,
it's like refreshing. It's like refreshing, like on a hot day or something like that.
Like, like instead of just wine's good with dinner, sparkling wine is good before dinner, after dinner.
Chilled, and it's a refreshing beverage,
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So apparently there's been a new study that finds that beer and cannabis make people 44% more attractive to mosquitoes. I've always thought I've never used to be this way, but later in my life, as BMI went up, I noticed my attractiveness to mosquitoes went up. Have you ever been around certain people and some people bugs don't bother them. They don't want anything to do with them, but they're all about you. And so I found this out when I went to on a fishing trip to Belize, and they have crazy mosquitoes and bugs and no-see-ums, and I just thought people were making up names for these things. I was bit so many times. I had over 200 bites on all my legs.
What's a no-see-um?
I think there's actually a better term for it, but I think the nickname is no-see-um because you can't see them. They're really tiny, and they bite, and it itches so bad.
They're small mosquitoes?
Small mosquitoes? Yeah, they're like a very, very, very small bug. And at one point, I had about 150 of them on my leg. And you can see when you have 150 of them on your leg. And
I don't think so.
I'm wiping them off. So I'm just bathing in Cataline lotion and, that's not what it's called. Some kind of white cream that they had there in their gift shop from Costco. Like Costco.
Kirkland brand?
It's a Kirkland brand. Yeah. It was, what is that? It's a non-itch cream, whatever it's called. Hydrocortisone cream or something like that. And it was like $5 a tube, and I would have paid $20. But I'm sure it's $1 a tube when you buy it in the case at Costco. But what do you do? I'm on an island in the middle of nowhere.
Right, yeah.
So my buddy did a lot of research, and he found out that if you take, I think it's vitamin D or B. I think it's vitamin B, that they don't like it. And you got to dose up on this stuff like a week before you're going to be around mosquitoes. But this study in particular in the Netherlands found that people that drank beer were 44% more attractive to mosquitoes than non-drinkers. So they had, people that had been drinking beer right here, and then up against this kind of like shipping container that was full of mosquitoes, and they had screens, and they would have them stand right next to the screen so they wouldn't get bit, but the screens were just covered in mosquitoes. And then they had another shipping container next to it where they had the same setup, but those people that were standing in front of the screens hadn't drank any alcohol. And then they had a third one set up with cannabis. And cannabis and alcohol drinkers were 44% more attracted, or the mosquitoes more attracted to. So this sucks. So that you're telling me I can't party on vacation? Screw you, man. They also found that people that were sleeping next to each other, like let's say you were out camping and you literally were sleeping right next to each other, maybe because you were scared or maybe because you were a couple, not necessarily in the same cot or anything, but just next to each other, were a lot more susceptible to mosquitoes versus people that spread out, and people that wore sunscreen were less attractive to mosquitoes as well. So this is great information as summer's over, right?
Wait, sunscreen? Sunscreen helps get the mosquitoes away?
It really does. And I believe it's probably because, sunscreen will, coat your skin.
A chemical.
It's a chemical. It's something they're not necessarily attracted to.
Yeah.
So if you don't have bug spray and you do have sunscreen, dose up, man. Dose up.
So they go in for the bite, and then they probably get a little taste of it, and they're like, ew, that's not flesh and blood. I don't want that.
Or they just get near it, and it might be too much for their senses or something like that.
Nice. That's good to know. That's good to know.
So the more beer you drink, the more sunscreen you're going to need? Is that the story?
Okay, yeah.
Is that what we're learning here
It's
today?
usually the case. But the problem is, the more beer you drink, the more you forget about your sunscreen and how much you need it.
Jeff and Jeremy.
Had to look it up. The most effective ingredients to get rid of mosquitoes. You know what it is?
Most effective ingredient to get rid of mosquitoes.
To keep mosquitoes away.
You eat something you eat?
No,
or?
it's just the most popular. It's DEET.
Oh, like a deterrent?
Yeah, it's DEET.
Well, my grandma used to lather me up in some kind of Avon stuff. It was called Skin So Soft.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. It's just an oil, right? Is it like a baby oil or something?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, basically, it was like the Avon brand of a baby oil.
I remember that. Skin So Soft. Is Avon still around? They're probably still around, aren't they?
I don't know.
So DEET is still the best. And the funny thing is, I think there was some links or something to skin cancer with DEET. So everybody got weirded out by it. Like even Deepwood's Off, which is supposed to be the brand, only carries like, 25, 28% DEET in it. I found this stuff. I forget what it's called, but they have it at Walmart. It's only one. It's 98% DEET. Like, yeah. DEET when you have it because it has a smell. It's not a bad smell, but.
Do you like saying the word DEET?
Why, does it sound like I do? DEET. I just like DEET. I like stuff that works. And so I'm good with that because I hate mosquito bites.
DEET is neat for Jeremy. DEET is
oil of lemon or eucalyptus. I don't know how you get that, but maybe you can buy that at a hippie store like Extract, and you can rub that all over your bate. And then,
my brother-in-law works for the Forest Service, and he's He works in fire control. Used to be a firefighter. Now he works in the office. He's aged out, and he still will go out to a fire and help out if need be, make a little extra scratch. But he doesn't have to do the really hard jobs on the fire. Anyways, they get all kinds of stuff for this kind of stuff, like mosquitoes and things like that. And we have probably 15 bracelets. And the bracelets look like those Lance Armstrong bracelets.
Okay, yeah. My mom bought me one that was more of a coil, like the thing you'd put keys on back in the day.
Okay, yeah. The water park.
Do you think those work? She's like, wear it around your ankle when we were on vacation.
Ankle, huh?
Yeah. And I was like,
I don't know. These my kids wear these Lance Armstrong bracelets, and they do work. Mm-hmm. They do work because I will not wear them, and I will get bit, but they don't get bit. And they got younger blood. Like if I'm a mosquito, I'm going for the younger blood than I'm the old man tainted blood. I
don't think they're that picky, but yeah,
that's true.
I got one of these things on Amazon that my buddy swore by. You don't wear it. You just have it around like where you're sitting. Like let's say you're at a picnic table. You turn this thing on, you set it on the table. It's called a thermocell. And it was like, I think I got one for like $16 or something like that. And it uses butane, almost like a lighter. And then you put these little cells in the top, and then you click it to light it. And then you look in the top, and it's got this little orange, you could tell it's lit. And it puts out some kind of fragrance that the mosquitoes don't like. Kind of like a citronella candle. Stephanie writes in from Napomo, and she says, burn coffee grounds. The cheaper, the better.
Really?
Like Folgers. And if you that actually wouldn't be that bad. So what do you do? Just put it like in a little container, and how do you burn coffee grounds? Like, do they catch fire? Like, can you just put a light, like a barbecue lighter down there? I had a landlord
tell me once, because she was too cheap to actually get an exterminator to come out to the house that I was renting. And she said, okay, this is what you do to get rid of mice and rats. And that is you set a trap, and you would take any kind of nut. But she said the walnut worked the best. And you roast the walnut in a pan a little bit and burn it a little bit, makes it nice and fragrant, and then you put it in the trap, and then they're drawn to the fragrance of the nut, in this case, the walnut. And it worked. It worked. She was spot on.
Well, I'm
She knew
looking
her
at all
pest
these
control.
pictures of coffee grounds, and it's smoldering in the middle. So I guess maybe if you just took a lighter to it and you held it there for a minute, it would light it up, and then it would, flare
Maybe
up,
it's
and then
the
it would
smoke.
smolder. It would smolder. Yeah, it's the smoke from the coffee.
Okay.
I bet that wouldn't be so bad.
If you're at a campsite, because that's typically where mosquitoes will hang out,
Yeah.
so they could eat and feast on people. Maybe you just throw some coffee grounds in the fire.